What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today's the big day I told you about last week. I'm going to be giving a talk at like one of the biggest companies in the world tonight, and I'm going to be really slow for the next little while because next week I've got 2 international trips. One of them is for business, and the second one is to help me with something that I'm going through, and I go through every single year around this time, which is called SAD. I am tired, I am antsy, I am cranky, and I am just so moody. Like, I cannot with this weather anymore, and I really need to get away. So I'm going to Cabo with one of my girlfriends. I'm going to talk more about SAD and all of that stuff that I've been, trying to get together in my podcast. As you guys know, I have a podcast called Grace Report. Just search for it wherever you listen to your current podcast, and you'll be able to find my episode. So now let's jump into a recap of the 17th episode of Teen Mom OG, which, warning, was a major snooze fest, okay? So the episode started off with Amber's cousin coming over to help her and her unemployed boyfriend around the house because they're too busy doing nothing all day. Amber mentions that she hadn't been able to keep up with her cleaning for a couple of days, and for someone who likes to brag that she's better than people because of the money that she allegedly has, she doesn't live very well. I'm pretty sure she could afford a cleaner, so I don't know why she doesn't just do that. Maybe her house is too dirty. The cleaners don't want to take it on or something, though. Cousin Krystal then reveals that her latest baby daddy, because of course she's got a couple, has bounced on her while she was pregnant with their kid. And Amber was like, wow, that sucks. I can't imagine my kid growing up without a father, which was so ironic considering Amber's first child, Leah, is growing up without a damn mother. So really, girl? Really? Are you sure you want to say that on television after the way you bragged about the fact that you saw your daughter only 3 times all summer? Next up, we head on over to Maci, and I'm sorry, you guys, I like Maci. I think she's got a level head and everything, but it seems like she just doesn't have a storyline if she's not able to talk about Ryan. We saw her have this PCOS thing where she went to her doctor's clinic, then we saw her go and visit Kate, and she seemed highly uninterested and detached from Kate and Tyler the whole visit, and now they're back to this adoption storyline. I do believe that Maci and Taylor want to adopt eventually, but obviously not right now with the fact that they've got 2 kids under 2 or 3, and then they just suffered a miscarriage recently. It just seems like she's got nothing else to talk about, which is pretty sad considering she was once gunning for her own show, and it's pretty clear she doesn't have that much to offer outside of her drama with Ryan. Now back to Amber. How ironic was it that Amber and Andrew were hoping to find sloths in the nursery wallpaper that they were about to hang up? It is literally the perfect animal to describe the two of them, She later finds out that she has gestational diabetes and announces the news on what appears to be a new couch. She says that she always feels tired and useless now, which is really funny considering this is the same woman who sleeps until 2 o'clock all day, every day, and she's been doing that for well over 3 years, as Matt had pointed out, her brother had pointed out, Gary had pointed out, Leah had pointed out. So obviously this is nothing new for her. This is just the same old, except now she has a better excuse for being that way, even though I wouldn't really call it a good excuse because millions upon millions of pregnant women, most pregnant women, are still out there working. So get it together, girl. Now we finally see Tinder addict 626 and his Black Widow wife as she reveals that she's no longer on birth control and they can get pregnant anytime. And I felt like this was pretty whack considering she looked pretty damn clearly pregnant as far as I'm concerned in that scene. Back over in Indiana again, guys, we're gonna breeze through this recap because literally nothing happened this episode. Amber and Andrew go to pick up Leah from Gary's house, and Andrew points out Gary's sausage fingers, which I thought was rude as all hell, and basically the Fluffy calling the other dog 3-headed, if you can catch my drift over there. Let me just say this show is so far on its last leg that they introduced Amber's cousin Krystal as a main character this episode. The woman is in her 30s. She's a mess, with all these, kids roaming around with all these different fathers. And then she got into an issue with her baby daddy over her latest baby daddy over him refusing to change her brakes. All this stuff where we're kind of where it was completely irrelevant to teen mom viewers. We don't care about cousin Krystal. We only like to see her getting her nails done with Amber and eating with her. We don't need to know what's going on in her ratchet little life, MTV. Clearly clearly you did not have enough content for an episode, so why stretch it out? Back in Tennessee again, Mackenzie starts priming us for a pregnancy by claiming to not feel good, and her alleged husband could not care any less. He didn't even bother to turn around and tell her that he didn't care. He just, kept browsing his phone on what I can only assume is Tinder. I do believe that he's probably bold enough to be doing that straight in her face in the house, because it's clear as day that this guy could not care any less about this woman. Now we're back to Cousins Krystal segment that literally nobody on the face of the earth asked for, and she reveals, honestly, I'm not surprised that she's a bird just like Amber. It turns out that she was pregnant by her man within 3 months of meeting him, and that he was cheating on his girlfriend at the time with her, and the girlfriend just so happened to have been Krystal's friend. And now, of course, as they always say, how you get him is how you lose him. So of course, while she was pregnant, he was out there laying it low and spreading it wide, and now has another girlfriend who, if I was listening to all of this like ratchetry, hood rat shit like correctly, his new girlfriend is already pregnant as well. Like, it's just such a damn mess, you guys. Like, stop. You don't have content for an episode, so what was this that you gave us? And then in the semifinal scene of the episode, Mackenzie announces to a producer that she's pregnant. You guys, why do these people always have to like show evidence that they're pregnant with like these little pregnancy tests? Why don't they just tell people they're pregnant and call it a day? Like, we believe you. And on the subject of this, do they tell producers and the whole show and the whole world that they're pregnant the second they get a positive test and not wait the recommended 3 months? Because yikes, if so. She claimed that Ryan could not contain his excitement about the baby news, but just judging by the way that he even looks at her, he is not the slightest bit excited for this at all. And when they go back and sit together on the couch and discuss the pregnancy and who they're gonna tell, Ryan literally tells this broad to call him when the baby is 3, and she was like, that's like really rude. And he didn't apologize, he didn't say he was joking, he just stared at her like, well, here you are, and you are not going anywhere. Now, in the exactly final scene of the episode, Butch looked really great when Tyler and Amber finally sat down with him. Like, their segments this entire time was them talking about going to sit down with him. It was such BS. And so they finally sit down with him. He looked healthy, he looked vibrant, he looked great, he looked happy, and they just do the same old. He was an absent father, and now he's doing better, which is great. He seems to be taking it seriously and on the road to recovery, but you're only as good as your aftercare plan. So we can only hope that he maintains his sobriety for the sake of his kids and his grandkids. You guys, that was the extremely uneventful episode of Teen Mom OG. As usual, I'm more excited to hear what you have to say about this. I don't even know that you have anything to say about this episode because there was no content, okay? Leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. You can also like this video, subscribe for more. Feel free to share it with your friends as well. And follow me across social media where I absolutely love chatting with you. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.